Fuck! Hey, we'll be right back after these short messages. I put the wrong input again.
Really?
Yes.
Really, bro?
Where is it?
I mean,
Well, hello everyone. Welcome to a very, very, very sick Thanksgiving feast special of the Untitled Sickos podcast. As usual, I am Bears fan alongside with my five other co-hosts, along with a very, very special guest. We can have a go around to see who all is who and who's joining us for the feast today.
Hello, this is Juggerbear. I have brought many succulent treats like pumpkin pie and football hot takes. It's a communal effort.
Yeah, I thought Taegan was good. Taegan was supposed to bring the football hot takes. He's the hot take guy.
it takes a village, bro.
Okay. Oh, sorry, my bad. Anyways, I am the MaskedAura, and I am here, and I have brought in terrible relationship advice.
And a suspicious bruise around your eye.
Yeah, don't call the police. Don't call the popo. They don't need to get involved.
Yeah, don't call the popo. I told her to hit you.
Anyway, I'm Carsausage. And you can probably take a wild guess what I brought for Thanksgiving.
Attitude! No, I'm kidding.
That's right, folks. I'm gonna talk about the normal.
He brought Donald Trump.
Folks, if there's anything I've learned, it's that you can't trust crooked Caleb Williams and Matt Eberflop to win anything.
Jesus Christ. Matt Eberflop. Fucking what the fuck? Matt Eberflop, what the fuck?
A bad outbreak, folks.
I'm not over Matt Eberflop yet.
Oh my god.
Well, also we have someone coming from the kids table right now. Someone from the kids table chiming in.
Yeah. Hello. I'm Nickman. I have been freed from the chambers that is the basement. And my reward is I get to sit at the kids table. Because
I thought your reward was watching more shitty Bears football.
That too! That too is also my reward. That too will also be my reward. But for the time being, I am stuck at the kids table. Because apparently...
Maybe if you're good, kiddo, Santa will bring you a Matt Eberflus firing.
Yeah, that would be very, 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 very delightful. But anyways, you're probably... You know what? Should I share to everyone why I'm at the kids' table? Should I share to the class?
But let's wait till everyone else introduces themselves.
You know what?
After
That's
all,
good.
we still
That's
have
all
one
good.
more member.
Yeah, hi. 24 Amper, Noah Cruncher speaking. I'm bringing to the table my tears and despair of trying to watch the Texans and Sixers play what you call a sport. I'm like that Squidward guy, where everyone else is getting their turkeys and gravies. I'm getting my cup of coffee out, begging for spare change.
Spare
And
change.
then-
Can my quarterback stop fucking up? Spare linebackers.
And lastly, of course, we have the true birther of the Riz King. Would you like to introduce yourself?
And I'm bringing the Mexican food and the Riz face.
How delightful.
Sad when Daniel Jones implements Super Bowl Project 2025 and sends you back. I'll be really sad.
Yeah.
Project Super Bowl
Anywho.
2025.
Anywho, we have Nick, before we get into what we're gonna do afterwards, how about you tell everyone why you're at the kids' table this year?
Well, it's not that long of a story. It really isn't. You see, the plan was that I was not told until just today, but that we would all bring fast food to the table. And unfortunately, I had already had Five Guys today. And that shit is expensive as hell. It is an expensive food. So, when I am getting pained by Mr. Taegan that I must get McDonald's, and the answer for me is no. I am not doing this. I am not going to make my father go and get McDonald's after he already had gotten Five Guys today. I am not doing that. As a proud American, I am not forcing someone to do that.
All right, force him to get Wendy's
also-
instead.
Here's the
True.
thing. The real
Yeah.
question is, I need to hear. Can you sound like was it God damn it! I've just started rewatching Futurama again. I'm blanking
Philip
on
J.
it.
Fry.
No, not Philip J. Fry, the president.
Richard Nixon.
Oh,
Richard
Nixon?
Can you sound like Richard Nixon from?
Listen, I don't think I can. I don't know if I can sound like him, but apparently people think I sound like Peter Griffin for some reason, which I don't see. But you know what? I'll take it. But anyways, I made the decision. Despite facing peer pressure from Mr. Taegan, from Mr. Bears fan over here. I shall eat a turkey and ham sandwich like a civilized human being was always meant to have. Because unlike Taegan, I don't promote new norm crap.
I also offered to
It's-
pay for
how
his
is that
McDonald's
civilized?
meal, and yo, Noah, we are so back. Thank you for defending the good old fashioned ways. But anywho, I don't know what Noah got, but I got Arby's. Juggerbears got something. Luke ended up getting McDonald's, and Spencer got a pizza, and of course Valente got Mexican. So Nick's at the kid table. Now going into our main portion. As traditional on Thanksgiving for most households, there's normally a prayer involved. So, considering we have the token Catholic amongst us all, I can think of no one better to lead us within this prayer.
Yeah.
So our token Catholic, spit your shit, King,
All
as
right.
they say.
Yes. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Amen. Father in heaven, creator of all and source of all goodness and love, please look kindly upon us and receive our heartfelt gratitude in this time of giving thanks. Thank you for all graces and blessings you have bestowed upon us, spiritual and temporal, our faith and religious heritage, our food and shelter and football hot takes and health, the loves we have for one another, our family and friends. Dear Father, in your infinite generosity, please grant us continued graces and blessings throughout the coming year. This we ask in the name of Jesus, your Son and our brother. Amen.
Amen.
I got
Amen.
chills
In the name of the
from
Father,
that.
the Son, and the
Holy
Holy Ghost.
Smokes! I got chills.
Mm-hmm.
That's called a...
You love to say that.
Anywho, time to dig into my Arby's. I can't wait to have these curly fries that are probably somewhat cold. No, they're still warm.
Alright,
Yo!
we got ourselves a meaty 5-cheese pizza over here. Thank you, Peppino's Pizza.
And
You
I
know
got
the
cold
funniest thing about all
McDonald's. Got burger.
The person that we're saying is at the kids' table has the most Thanksgiving actual like stuff with them.
Yeah, that's what
No,
makes
no,
him
no,
a
no.
big talk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in the thumbnail.
Yeah.
In the thumbnail. Look at it.
Yeah, that's why he's with his brother carving that fucking shitty ass turkey. While we all brought fast food to the table.
I got Mexican food, which I don't even think Mexicans eat on Thanksgiving.
I really thought you were
I
about
know
to say
that.
Mexicans don't eat. Like, they just
I
absorb
have
the
fi-
sun.
Listen, I had
I know
Five Guys
that
today, so
because
who's
I
the
am
real
Mexican.
winner here?
Anywho, as I feast upon this bountiful food, we have had a quite chaotic week in football last week, to say the least. And I feel like there's no other way to start it other than officially bringing in the Sickos Pardon. That's
Yes.
right. Every year, we are pardoning one person from being on L's of the Year this year. This person cannot be used at all during This person or thing cannot be used at all during L's of the Year, we realize it's not their fault. And this year, by executive decision, we are pardoning Daniel Jones from the L's of the Year list. The reason as to why, the Giants are a totally inept organization, which shouldn't be a surprise, but apparently having your $40 million franchise quarterback play scouts team safety is what it takes.
R.I.P. Daniel Jones on the Giants. Truly no more Mr. Nice Guy.
Say hello to Danny Derps on the Vikings, though.
I'm excited. If we can turn around the Darnold, maybe Daniel Jones has a chance.
I mean, here's the thing. The thing with Daniel Jones, what he needs to do is he needs to sign with the Cowboys. Because the Cowboys are the one team that I can imagine right now that are looking to finish in a somewhat competitive slate. They're not going to make the playoffs, but Daniel Jones just needs one or two moments. One or two little things in life that he can do that gets that gets him an attractive signing, so he can go try it out for a year to prove that he is a franchise quarterback. Because
honestly, if I'm Daniel Jones, I was going to say, I think he just signs with a playoff contender, wins a ring, and then retires. I mean, you got the bag.
The Daniel Jones from New York Giants to Kansas City Chiefs pipeline. It's true. I see the vision.
Oh no.
True.
And
True.
all of those
Carson Wentz.
All those opposing will be forced into the crystal, actually.
If you want to know why, I would like you to consult this graph that says where I am right and you are a poopy head.
And you are actually the soy jack.
Oh shit.
See? Luke just realized he's the soy jack.
No, I'm trying to beat Minecraft hardcore and I just died.
And
Damn, you really are the
crystals
soy
you
jack.
go.
Yeah, into the crystal you go, buddy. I don't make the rules.
Into the crystal you go, until you can be in Minecraft hardcore.
Sorry, I'm fully blocked.
Anywho, I'd have nowhere else to start other than let's have our special guest talk about how the Saints might actually be back.
Oh no, we're definitely not back, but you know, I'm at a place where I'm happy with the rest of the season, regardless of what happens. You know, I never thought I'd get to say this in season, but Dennis Allen is gone, and I love that, which kind of sucks because I never wanted to root for a man to lose his job, but
I mean, show us on the doll where he touched you.
Show us on the doll where he affected you the most.
Yeah.
on my chest, but not where you think. Anyway,
Your heart.
yeah, my heart. Not any other body part that would put him in prison.
Unfortunately. Oh,
Dang.
Unfortunately, yes. But you know, I'm pretty like okay with the way the rest of the season could end up going. We could end up sucking, and I'd be okay with it just because Dennis Allen's gone.
Yeah, fuck Dennis.
I mean, at least look at it. I mean, look at it this way. Cam Ward could potentially be in your future.
Could be. Don't think so, but could be.
I really hope we're in a position to take a quarterback of the future because that kind of makes the head coaching job more like desirable, I guess. I mean, besides right now, I think our top two candidates are Rizzy and Aaron Glenn. Or I think Joe Brady. I think Jugger might be able to chime in on that.
I'm basically
is,
just
who would you
hoping
want-
we actually blow up the team and start tanking properly and do a
I
real
am too.
rebuild.
I am too, but I'm also kind of like in the realistic mode, but that's just not gonna happen.
Is Adam Gase doing anything right now?
Nope. Yes, he's very busy. He's currently running a terrorist organization known as some high school in New Jersey or Florida. I mean,
Oh no, he's running Bishop Sycamore, actually.
yeah. I think.
I mean,
Adam
that'd be a
Gase is
perfect
so
fit for
bad he
him
got
after
fired
all.
From a high school. I don't know.
Wait, no, he's actually part of the 33rd team, which is that one Twitter account.
Oh,
Which, holy shit!
congrats to him, I guess.
Yeah, I guess congratulations, Adam Gase, from us here at the Sickos. Get your bag, and for the love of God, never touch a football field again.
True.
Agreed.
Now, moving on to one NFC South team to another NFC South team that I think is quite funny. And this is just a general recap of, I think, last week, because I feel like this is the funniest part to start off with. Guys, can we officially start saying that the Chiefs are not going to get that far in the playoffs this year? I get they have Patrick Mahomes.
I refuse. I'm not going to say it. I refuse
It's the
because
Chiefs. They're going to find a way to pull this off. We know them well.
I'm not saying anything.
It
Yeah, I'm
doesn't
keeping
matter
my mouth
come-
shut.
Here's the thing. This is gonna become the new cycle, and you can bring this up next year when they do it again. There's gonna be something in the regular season that makes everyone think they're not going that far. Hell, they might not even make the playoffs. Obviously, right now they're in a good spot to where they could lose out. They'd probably make it, but last year they were on the verge of like.
Yeah, they
Making
lost to
it,
the
making it.
Raiders on Christmas, for Christ's sake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think there's always going to be something in like the books for the Chiefs during the regular season that's going to, make it look like they're not the premier Super Bowl contender, but they are.
Yeah.
But I'm
They
just
just-
saying this now. This is the weakest Chiefs team we've ever seen. And the fact of the matter is, you had to take it to the limit against the Carolina Panthers, who are starting a Bryce Young who still doesn't have any confidence left in himself, and
No
whose best wide receiver right now.
But
That's the thing. Who haven't
Listen.
they taken it to the limit against?
here's the thing.
Yeah.
Every damn
Buffalo.
game.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, like, again, it's the regular season. And again, everybody wants this whole, they're dead. Oh, they're dead, don't you know? No, I will believe it. The day when they die is when the clocks hit 0 and they lose in the wild card round.
Yeah,
Then,
like the Patriots
Tom
did
Brady
after
did.
2019.
but like, will it be over? Oh, absolutely not, because it's going to be one of those times where, you need to, like, how you have your, season-ending evaluation period. You're going to be evaluating, going, okay, what are some good things that we did great? What were they? What are some things that we could improve? We do this. And that's what good teams do. And it, like Kansas City's going to do. They're going to look at what we got. Okay, we still got Patrick Mahomes. Still is the greatest quarterback in the NFL right now. But we need to actually get him help. And they may just need a mental reset too. Because if they win 3 Super Bowls in a row, they're going to be more fraudulent the next year. We're going to be, they're done. They're done. No, Chiefs are never done. They do whatever it takes to win.
Yeah, it's literally the same shit people were saying about New England in 2014 when they got mollywopped by the Chiefs.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's just with teams like the Chiefs, it's like, is it ugly how they've been winning this season for just about basically every single game they played this year? Absolutely. But you want to know something? It's annoying. But it's also frustrating because if any team can keep pulling that off and go into the playoffs and go and win the Super Bowl, it's the Kansas City Chiefs. Because they have shown they can do that. They have shown they are right now they are the Thanos of the NFL. And until someone stops them, why should they stop playing like this? Because simply put, it keeps working until it won't work. But we
Until
don't
they
know
play the
when
Bills.
it's gonna. Yeah, we don't know when it's gonna stop working, because at the same time it's like, oh, you know, can this team beat them? Can this team beat them? We would hope they would beat them, but do we know? No, because the Kansas City Chiefs in the playoffs are just built different. And Taegan said this is the weakest team. I'm gonna be honest, last season I still feel was a weaker team, and that team still won the Super Bowl.
Like, who was the wide receiver one in the Super Bowl was Mecole Hardman, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was either him
No,
or
it was Rashid Rice.
Rookie Rasheed Rice, right?
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I think so.
Like, they were very weak at receiver. So, not only are they improved at receiver, like, they got DeAndre Hopkins, which, by the way, I understand that he's not, you know, the greatest anymore. But it's still an improvement considering, you know, rookie Rasheed Rice and Mecole Hardman. And you went to, I mean, I think if you do get back to the playoffs, you get Rasheed Rice back, I believe.
Yeah.
First time for the year.
Yeah, and it's worth noting, like, you know, last season for the Chiefs, it's like, we mentioned how they lost to the Raiders on Christmas Day. Not too long, I believe it was before that, then we lost to the Patriots. Like, that Chiefs team was really, they were not in the best position going into playoffs, and yet it didn't matter.
Also, they took
No, I
the
get that.
The Jets took them to a limit on, like, Sunday Night Football.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With Zach Wilson.
I'm not saying, look, I'm just saying, like, I don't think this Chiefs team has shown me that they don't have the ability to win every game. Because when they go up against someone that's of equal or higher talent level than them, they don't play well. Like, look at the game against Buffalo. The Bills were handily winning that game. Granted, when Josh Allen scored a touchdown, yeah, it was only a one possession game. But, like, here's the thing. I don't think the Chiefs can match up to a couple of AFC teams right now. I think Baltimore is playing some of their best football in their entire lives. Buffalo is riding that hot streak with Josh Allen until the wheels stop. And granted, the AFC South is kind of weak, but you still gotta deal with, like, the Steelers. You still gotta deal with like the Chargers, and hell, Denver looks like a potential upsetting team against them. After all, they were a blocked field goal away from losing. I'm just saying, last year, it wasn't like it that much. Every week, though, it seems like this Chiefs team is bound to potentially lose a game. I went into this game this week thinking, there's a legitimate possibility that the Panthers could upset them. And they almost did.
I mean, for me, it's just a wait. It'll happen when
It just doesn't seem.
I just don't see it.
It doesn't seem to matter to me. Remember, last year this team got punked by the Raiders on Christmas, I believe. Didn't matter. They still won the Super Bowl. They played the exact same game they did against every single team that they did against the Raiders and won them all. That's just the thing about the Chiefs. They play the same game against every team and yet somehow win the exact same way. You just never see you just don't see other teams do that.
Yeah,
It's insane.
and it really is, and it's worth noting. Look, I do believe in Buffalo. I absolutely believe if there's any year for them to get over that hump, it's this season, because really, like, if there's any year for them to do it, they're playing their best football. Josh Allen is playing elite football right now. You love to see it if you're a Bills fan. The only thing is, well, you're going to have to get past the Chiefs in the playoffs. And they haven't shown they've been able to do that yet. And I will say, last season, Buffalo was playing very strong football heading into the playoffs. It's why they were able to win the AFC East. And I thought if there was any year for them to beat Kansas City, it was last season. And they still couldn't do it. And granted, they could do it this season. I would love to see it. But I'm just saying, the Chiefs in the playoffs are a different team. They have shown they are a different team in the playoffs, just like New England was when Tom Brady was there.
Sorry for the dog in the background.
And let me just
Wow.
say this, it doesn't even have to be the Chiefs for the Bills to have an issue in the playoffs. I remember in 2022 it was the Bengals that stopped them.
Yeah, but the Bengals aren't going to be there this time.
Yeah.
I'm just saying this feels more like a Bills problem than a Chiefs problem.
That's a fair point. I think, Spencer, that is
fair.
a very fair point. I agree. In many ways, it's the Bengals. They've seemed to figure the Chiefs out, no problem, right? And it's not to say that it's. I don't want to. We don't want to necessarily like fully discredit what this Chiefs team can do. Because if you give them the smallest... Like, again, you have to play a perfect game when you play the Kansas City Chiefs. I think we can all agree on that. You have to be perfect. Especially if you're going on the road in Kansas City, you have to be... The error of margin is -1.
Yeah.
You have to force Kansas City to make mistakes. And a team that looks around and goes, hey, we're not going to necessarily well, yeah, again, that's all right. You have to be perfect. Because the minute you start making mistakes, Kansas City's going to run 14 points up your ass. You're going to be blinking, and you're going to be going, wait, what the heck just happened? Scratching your head the entire time. That's just the Chiefs. And
Right, but keep in mind, though, the Chiefs have made a lot of mistakes this season.
they have.
They
They
have.
have won games.
Yes. They made a lot of
No, I get
mistakes
that.
last
I'm
year
just-
too.
That's
Right,
true.
I'm just saying, I don't think they're a juggernaut like most people think. I think they are always going to be in Super Bowl conversation, but I think this is the most beatable Chiefs team in a while. Like last year, I didn't think the Raiders were going to beat them. When they did, I was like, "Oh wow, that was a little bit surprising." But this year, I felt like they could lose every single game that they played. Granted, they're 10-1. Or well, is it 10-1? Maybe.
Yes,
I don't know.
10-1.
Granted, their record is really good. And in that case, that maybe they're winning games, but when you're making the Panthers look like a potential upsetting team, that's a bit of an issue.
Listen, I'm gonna
At
say
least
this.
in my opinion.
I understand that. I am gonna say this though, because this is just something you said earlier. I do think you should give Bryce Young a little more respect, because I don't think he's without confidence anymore. I think he's gotten at least a bit more confidence now, which is great to see for him. Just wanted to put that out there. But regarding the Chiefs,
That was more of a Freudian slip on my bad. Bryce Young has been
It's okay.
playing well.
yeah, it's okay. Oh, good. But regarding the Chiefs, it's, and Luke said it, it's a wait and see, because it's like, do I want to believe they can be beaten? Absolutely. Do I think they can be beaten? Absolutely. But someone needs to go and do it. And that's something that we haven't seen since the Bengals did it back in the 2021 playoffs in the...
I mean,
Yeah,
to be fair, the
2020
Buccaneers also did beat them, too.
They did. And granted, that was mainly because they were just able to completely just dismantle the Chiefs O-line in that game, and Patrick Mahomes was just running for his life the entire game, and the Bucs offense basically did what they had to do to take care of business.
They also had Tom Brady and Gronk for the one last revenge tour.
And
that
Antonio Brown, too.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Unfortunately.
Super Bowl champion Antonio Brown. I kind of want to vomit.
I mean, that was... Yeah, we can't forget, that was the Antonio Brown-Le'Veon Bell matchup.
The fact that one of those guys was going to get a freaking ring is just... Leaves this kind of a sour taste in your mouth, eh?
Yeah.
I don't hate Le'Veon. I don't hate Le'Veon.
No, you're right. Yeah, that's true. I don't hate Le'Veon as much as I kind of despise
I'm also-
what Antonio Brown
The only thing I'll
became.
give Antonio Brown is he is a Hall of Fame Twitter user. Other than that, he
Like-
knows how to work that platform.
Like, here's the thing. Le'Veon Bell is a diva. Antonio Brown is, like, one of the worst people to ever walk the earth.
I'll not argue with that. He's just good at Twitter.
I will say this. Now that you guys brought up Le'Veon Bell, there is a little fun fact. LaShawn McCoy is a 2-time Super Bowl champion.
Yep.
In 2019 with the Chiefs and 2020 with Tampa Bay. Which, by the way, that makes his like Hall of Fame like sheets look a hell of a lot better but in actuality he was dog ass in the 2020s. He was dog ass in like the later half of his career. Like everything past 2017, he was not good.
I mean, personally, LaShawn is in my Hall of Fame for blowing the whistle on Chip Kelly being a racist douchebag.
The thing I remember most about LaShawn McCoy, like outside of like his very impressive seasons, was that shot of him during that snow game the Eagles had against the Lions, like that amazing snow game they had, where it's just, I'm pretty sure it was him, where he's just running through the snow and there's all the freaking snow on his helmet and all that.
Yeah.
For some
Really
reason,
great shot.
LaShawn McCoy always went the hell off in snow games.
I think
God,
you
he
think
did.
like snow games are like the thing to get running backs going because you're not gonna pass the ball a lot. It's hard to get traction.
Speaking of snow games, I did want to say this. I feel we would be remiss if we didn't mention how we got a modern-day NFL classic this last Thursday.
Some call it how Jameis Winston saved Christmas.
How Jameis Winston saved the Browns culture.
That was only the third time since the Browns returned to the league that they actually won consecutive games against the Steelers. They won the second matchup last year.
I mean, I don't think Kevin Stefanski's like a bad coach. I just feel the Browns
he's
are
a
just
very good coach.
Constripulated
No, the
by...
real problem is that Watson was their quarterback.
Yeah.
Here's my hot take on the whole thing with the Browns right now. Ken Dorsey, future Bears head coach? Question mark.
No, you can take those opinions and shove it up your ugly ass. That's right, you heard me. Shove it up your ugly ass.
Take that thought and just crumple it up and throw it away. We don't need to revisit that.
I do feel like this is a good time to talk about the NFC in general. Also, sorry if it seems like I'm jumping points. I'm trying to do a lot better with like segueing stuff to make a lot of sense now. I don't really want to come off as like I'm trying to take away points from everyone.
No, you're good,
Just
man.
something new
You're
that I'm
good.
trying. But I did want to say, I mean the AFC North. I meant AFC North, but I did. If you guys do want to talk about the NFC, there is a ton. But real quick, I did want to say about the NFC.
Let's do the AFC first. Let's do the AFC first.
Yeah. Steelers are really good. Ravens are really good. Bengals are sad, and the Browns are just dicking around.
The Browns are just...
Bengals are infuriating, man. They should be an 8-win, 9-win team. Joe Burrow is having the best season, arguably, of his entire career. He torched the Ravens for 9 touchdowns in the 2 games combined, I should say. How does this team have a losing record? How are they in danger
Patrick
of missing
Mahomes'
the
devil
playoffs
magic.
altogether?
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
with the Bengals, it's just I feel like there's an argument to be made that everything the term "what if" has often applied to Justin Herbert. I think we can start applying that to Joe Burrow now, because that stat that I saw about Joe Burrow and how he did against the Ravens, and the fact that he went 0-2 against them, that's just sad. Like that was sad to look at. Like, god damn.
Yeah, I think it's time for time for Zach Taylor to finally go up to Lou Anarumo and just be like, "Hey, listen, this ain't it. Like, you need to fuck off."
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be real with Lou and Zach. I think it's clear. It feels like Lou's defense has gotten really badly exposed this season, and he's just not had an answer to anything that opposing teams have had to offer. And that has been a stark contrast to what we've seen from the Bengals defense over the years. Like, just a really big fall off they've had this season. Like, basically everyone that's not named Trey Hendrickson has just been having a season to forget. And on the other hand, I definitely think, I get the feeling with the way things are going, this should probably be Zach Taylor's last season.
Agreed.
I also will say this real quick. The fact that Trey Hendrickson is in the Defensive Player of the Year conversations, I'm not saying that Trey Hendrickson is bad per se, but it's weird that he is like in DPOY conversation. And I wanted to kind of just bring this up in general because I feel like, at least this year, a lot of people have looked very similar stat-wise. There are a few outliers this year in terms of like stuff going on. Like look at Justin Fields and Russell Wilson, for example. I feel like no matter who you put that quarterback, you get the same outcome no matter what.
Yeah.
I find Russell Wilson's a little bit more safe with the football compared to Justin Fields.
Right, but Justin Fields always has an explosive play within him that can make up for that.
Justin offers more. I feel like Justin offers more mobility, but Russ also just feels like he's more comfortable in the pocket. That's just how I see it. But just to comment on that, I will say though, I do think it is deserving though for Trey Hendrickson because, I mean, the only reason the Bengals defense somehow isn't worse is because of Trey Hendrickson. Like he has been having to hard carry that defense at times, like genuinely.
Also, Trey Hendrickson was a former Saint, which I did want to say real quick. Why did the Saints ever not re-sign Trey Hendrickson?
They didn't have the money because they were in cap hell.
Well,
right, yeah, but
I'm not
they had
willing to
Cam.
write it up for that.
What's up?
I'm not willing to give that excuse of the no salary cap thing because they made it work. They've been making it work to the point where they could sign someone to a big deal for the last 6 years. I just don't understand why they picked Marcus Davenport over Trey Hendrickson.
Marcus Davenport was
my guess.
Plus, Davenport had a higher ceiling than Hendrickson at the time in what they thought.
Absolutely not.
Well, looking now, yeah.
Well, ceiling, I think it's something else, but to me, it's you pay Marcus Davenport was a first-round draft pick, and a lot of organizations. I've noticed they tend to not give up on first-round picks when you need to just give up on them.
That's something the Saints do actually more than most teams, is because Peyton Turner, he's still around and he's doing much better, but he's still nowhere near the level of first round pick should be at. And then I partially blame this on both Dennis Allen, Sean Payton, and Mickey Loomis, because for one, Mickey Loomis didn't want to shell out the money, even though that's what his whole mantra is shelling out money. Too much of it, even. And then Sean Payton and Dennis Allen just let him go and drafted two very mediocre first-round defensive ends.
Oh yeah, I forgot that Cesar Ruiz got drafted in the first round.
He's actually doing good though. That's the thing about it. That's the thing about the Saints like late first round drafting is that they always go for project guys. I've noticed that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Peyton
But
Turner
going
was
back-
from freaking.
USA or Houston or something like that.
Yeah, I want to see. One year you drafted one guy from like northern fucking Iowa. Oh yeah, Trevor Penning.
Trevor Penning.
You know what? Out of all of the recent draft picks that people would consider bad, Trevor Penning is the best by a mile.
At least that's good. But
Yeah.
back
No
to the
way.
AFC.
North. Do you want to talk about the AFC North still?
Well, I was just meaning like the AFC in general because I feel.
Well, because I do have a couple more comments that I'd like to.
Go
add.
ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's just because right now it's neck and neck between the Steelers and the Ravens right now, and I know that they will play again later this season, and I feel like depending on how the Steelers and Ravens do, because I think they're both pretty good teams, it's really going to come down to who's more consistent, because it feels like these are both really good teams, but they also can have some consistency problems. Like the Steelers' defense has played a lot of great football this season, but their offense can be hit or miss. The Ravens' offense has been amazing, but their defense can be very hit or miss, and I feel like whoever's going to have the more consistent play will be whoever wins this division, but that's obviously going to be, a wait and see.
One more thing before we go on to other things. I will say this to cap off for the North. The Bengals have to sign T. Higgins, man. If they don't re-sign T. Higgins, Joe Burrow's just gonna be in hell.
You really sound
Like,
like
I'm
you're
not saying
about to
it-
cry.
Joe Burrow's gonna be in hell.
Joe Burrow is just going to be the permanent what-if man because the Bungles keep bungling his career.
Well, the thing is too, it's just like they have to re-sign T. Higgins because I don't know how else they can really fix what they have right now. Because you can't build up through the draft because the Bengals don't trade. And like you can't go out and sign that many free agents because like you don't overly have the cap space because you just paid Burrow and you're going to have to pay. Did they already pay Chase or have they not paid Chase? I was
Well,
gonna
let me
say.
check.
They've yet to pay Chase. They've yet to pay
They have
Chase.
another year.
And from the looks of
Oh,
it, I think they're going to tag Jamar Chase, and Jamar Chase it probably will do everything in his power to not sign the tag. And if he does sign the tag, it wouldn't be surprised if just Jamar Chase just does like they pass along for 1 year until it's ridiculous and Jamar Chase just becomes a free agent. I think Jamar Chase just forces his way out. And it's the dumb thing that I find that I don't know why, like, he should have the contract signed in paper already, but their dipshit owner, there's a theme here.
Here's the thing: Mike Brown isn't a dipshit. He's just a cheap ass, which is some might argue is a flavor of dipshit, but like he's just a miserly fuck who like cares more about possessing money than actually improving that team.
Possessing Super Bowls.
He's because I'm sure you've all seen the news. You probably don't have like shit memory. You probably remember like the Bengals were like the last team to not have an indoor practice facility for weather. Because Mike Brown is a cheap ass, and he was just like, "Oh, indoor facilities that costs money." You know how much money costs? I tried to get $1. They charged me $1 for it. What the hell?
you want to know something too about an indoor facility, it is really not that expensive. You just have to mostly pay for heating. If you can pay for like heating, you can like have porta potties like outside, which is kind of shitty but like usable. You just need like at least not 1,500. You probably need like 3,000 by 3,000. Not 3,000. No, fucking
300
my
by
brain's
300.
fucking 300 by 300 yard area. Just got to build a roof over it and have heating. That probably doesn't even crack like a percentage of Joe Burrow's contract.
Yeah, but you see here, Taegan, I already paid Joe Burrow, so like, why do I have to pay for people to practice indoors? That's what outdoors is for.
Jim Irsay, what are you doing here?
I just came for my Peruvian marching powder.
Oh, Lord.
But
My intern said
I did-
have some.
I did
Irsay,
want
what are
to.
you doing?
That's probably the favorite characters that I've created. Sorry, Taegan, go.
Nah, I was gonna say now that we kind of got the north out of the way, we can start talking about Noah's division, which is I'm going to call the AFC South.
The AFC
South.
disaster.
Yeah,
No, I'm calling it
we
the
got a
AF
dumpster fire right here. We got a dumpster fire in the south.
No,
I
it's
like
the AFC
to-
South.
I like
Because
to
you fall
kindly
asleep
refer it
watching
to
that
as
division.
same shit, different year.
The Texans have become the most infuriating
Mr.
team.
Irsay, you're actually needed here real quick. If you could come in real quick.
Oh, it's my 5 a.m. Pal Coke ready.
Hold on,
Sorry.
Mr. Earthday. Mr. Earthday, we need to let the Texans fans speak first. My apologies.
Okay.
Cal McNair from Beyond the Grave, speak your struggles right now.
Oh,
That's you, Noah. That's you, Noah.
All right, yes. I'm just gonna say, the Texans are probably the most infuriating team in all of football. I don't know what happened, but ever since
I didn't know
believe-
that. You're telling me for the first time.
I think after that incredible first half against the Bills, when Nico Collins went down, the whole team just fell apart. They cannot offense. Straight up, they cannot offense. Stroud looks dead out there.
And, I get to say this because we absolutely ran roughshod on you and specifically him. But what the hell is Laramie Tunsil's hard on about when it comes to racking up false start penalties?
Unfortunately, when he was trying to get his playoff breakfast, everyone gave him ketchup when he really wanted mustard. So now he's just jumping all the time so he can see the color yellow again.
Oh my fucking god!
You know what? 9 out of 10
Oh
joke.
my god!
That's good.
Yeah,
That's
Oh
good.
my god! Holy
Mr. Taegan
shit!
just accidentally muted himself.
Oh my god!
That was
What
brilliant.
the fuck?
Look, Nick heard my laughter yesterday, so I decided to mute myself because, to quote him, I sound like a dying horse.
Fucking god!
So I guess you're the 2023
it sounds like
Russell Wilson Broncos.
Oh my god.
Oh, nah,
I'm glad you
not
brought
that
that
dead
up.
of a horse.
You're not that dead. Don't worry. You're not that dead. You just
I will
coughing
say
on
that-
laughing gas. Don't worry.
I will say this regarding the Texans, because me and Noah were talking earlier. I think Noah said this mostly had to do with like a snowball effect. He said. You said it's like a combination between Stroud not playing up to competition, Slowick just not doing his thing, and then the defense just not playing as advertised.
Yeah. Actually, if anything, the defense is probably the only part of them. It's probably the only part of it that's actually kind of been okay. It's really been the second half offense that has been god awful. Basically, the defense has to be played perfect.
Yeah, and I just want to add on to that because you mentioned the second half offense. Since they've gone to 5-1, since they started 5-1, after that Patriots game where they beat the hell out of them and had arguably their best offensive game of the season, ever since then, the Houston Texans have scored only one offensive second half touchdown since then. One.
And no passing touchdowns in the second half since then either.
That's not good.
It's
Not to
been rough.
mention too. Look at the game. Look at Joe Mixon against the Titans last week. 14 carries for 22 yards is abysmal. That's the kind of stat line that gets like second and third stringers cut from teams. Yet Joe Mixon, he couldn't even average 2 yards per carry. He's averaging under 1.5 yards. Or, well, maybe just at 1.5 yards.
I will say, I also think that also says a lot about the O-line play in that game, because let's just say of the combined sacks in this game, there was a combined 12 sacks among both teams in that game. It was an ugly showing for the O-line.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but I'm never gonna get that Larry Tunsil joke out of my head.
That's a good,
I got you to laugh.
that's a fucking good one.
If the Texans have any solace, it's the fact that the Colts just aren't built at all for this because it's built on Anthony Richardson's development, and Anthony Richardson's development is like a heart rate monitor. It goes up, it goes down, then it goes line up, down, line up, down, line up, down, line.
Is it almost time to bring in the
I know we need to put Joe Flacco in. He's the guy. We're gonna put Joe Flacco in. He's gonna bring us back. Is it my turn, Daddy? Is it my turn?
Yes.
Can we talk about
the
Colts?
Cheeto dust. Take the Cheeto dust.
Mr. Irsay, might I suggest a new quarterback?
Well, I'm thinking
might
of
I-
Daniel. I'm thinking of Daniel Jones again.
No,
I've been having
Mr.
wet
Irsay.
dreams of him ever since people's been suggesting that we make him our next quarterback.
Mr. Irsay, might I recommend you to the legendary eternal Mr. Tim Boyle?
What's a Tim Boyle? Is that something you get? Or is that like a zit or something?
No, Mr. Irsay. He's actually a quarterback from UConn.
You can't suck on these nuts. That's what I heard. That's what I heard the kid's been saying. Did I do enough? Did I good, Daddy? Did I get more Peruvian Martin powder? Can I get some of that
Mr.
devil's
Irsay.
dandruff?
Mr. Earthsay? That's illegal, sir.
Give me some of that disco dust. Sir, Roger Goodell knows all the slang.
It's a drug test from Mr. Goodell, sir.
Oh, just get Dak Prescott to do it again.
Sorry to interrupt the NFL talk, but can we just talk about how Gus Malzahn, the UCF head coach, is a literal ISIS member real quick?
What's an ISIS?
What happened?
No, he's seriously, since I want to say it's week 5 of college football, UCF has done nothing but suck, and I want this man's head cut off. Anyway, I'm sorry for interrupting.
No. This is a good. Welcome to the brief segment. We're going to talk about college football because we won't have anything good for about a week or so. Anywho, pretty much everything we know happened. Indiana's going to get fucked over.
No, Indiana's in a spot. Indiana's in a spot.
Indiana's number 10.
They're in.
They
They're
are
probably
number
going to get
10.
fucked
They win,
over
they're
by the committed.
No, they win. They're in.
No, they're gonna get screwed over, so a 13-ranked Alabama team can sneak in.
I
This is gonna be
swear
an
to
all-star
God, if that
try
happens,
if
I am going to be
10th-ranked Indiana
pissed.
falls back
College
3
football
spots.
means more in the
Bro.
SEC, especially when they line the pockets of the AP poll.
Dude.
It is going to be interesting for the Big 12 because it is currently a four-way death match for who gets to go to Jerry World.
It's
we-
not going to be UCF.
It's currently for Arizona State and Iowa State, it's win and you're in. For BYU, they need a win and an Iowa State loss. Colorado, they need the same thing, but they also need BYU to lose. There are some 5-3 teams who can get in, but also need pretty much the top 4 of the Big 12 to lose their games. So good luck out there to the following 5-3 teams who are gonna try and make a run for it. Baylor,
Yeah.
Kansas State, TCU, Texas Tech, and West Virginia.
Remember, TCU lost to UCF, though, so I think they should be sent into the Shadow Realm.
Turned into a crystal, actually.
So true.
True. But I just gotta say,
Speaking of-
regarding the Big 12, sorry to interrupt, Taegan, but I gotta say, regarding the Big 12, it is wild that Arizona State has gone from entering this season. Last season, they were coming off a 3-win season. They are 2 wins away from being a college football playoff team. That is wild.
That is huge.
I
I didn't think much of Arizona. Normally, Arizona State, I didn't think much of, right? Because I thought, the opposite effect was going to happen with Arizona, right? Because Arizona, they were really rough to start, but then they really built themselves into a solid contending team throughout the year. But Arizona this year has been, sure, they lost their head coach and a lot of their guys transferred out. But still, I thought they would be good. But, here's Arizona State out of nowhere.
Big shout out to Kenny Dillingham for really having a huge turnaround in his sophomore season for coaching the Arizona State Sun Devils.
Absolutely.
I think
And by the
we're the-
way, before we move on, we just gotta give a shout out to the ending of the BYU Arizona State game. That is an all-time ending right there.
Okay, so I need to be briefed on it.
Didn't it take 13 minutes just to get the fans off the field for a single play?
Mm-hmm.
Shut
They also
up.
took down the
Fuck.
goalpost too. How the hell were you gonna get a goalpost back in?
Oh my god, that's not gonna look good. Here's the thing. I'm all for students storming the field after you pull off an amazing upset. I think it is, in terms of program tradition, it's something that, especially me, noob college fan here, who's still trying his best to learn everything, that's something that I genuinely appreciate. I love it when students storm the field. I think that's the most amazing things, but they really should really workshop this more. Because they haven't perfected it yet? Game's not over and you got students storming the field.
And they were ripping down goalposts while there was 1 second left to play.
I mean, they really should be learning this stuff in college, but, education.
Yeah, this is
system
Joe
in
Biden's America. There's no learning. There's only gay in college.
They're storming the field early because of woke.
Yes, they're
They
storming it
heard
with
that you
the
could-
trans and the gay.
They heard that you can get HRT on the field, and they all stormed it immediately.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Good lord. Good lord.
By the way, in the time that we've had this rant, Jim Irsay has changed his mind and is going with Anthony Richardson to start the next game.
He's got
Ooh,
to. Sorry, hold on. I need to go back in the room a bit. I need to go back in the room where you can barely hear me. I'm gonna go to the kitchen. 1 second.
This DEI hire, Anthony Richardson, is taking quality starts away from the elite quarterback, Joe Flacco.
He's going to win us the Super Bowl. Just you wait. Oh boy.
just say, editing that video. Sorry to interrupt, but editing that Colts video was something. Let me just say that was something.
I want to know like your first, because like I don't think you knew that I was gonna be doing something this unhinged. Like I don't think you knew that. I was like, you know what? I think Nick's gonna like when I said I got this. Okay, Luke does this one takes. Well, some of this stuff he's been getting better at it. Let's see. This is probably gonna be really good. What the fuck was that?
I just open it up and I hear it for a while. It's like okay, he's doing his usual stuff. Okay, and then I get like 30 seconds in, and then the transition happens. It's like, oh brother.
and that loud snort the first time was a dead giveaway. Something was about to go terribly wrong.
It's like, okay, you know what? Let's see. Okay, Jay Shalat snorting Cheeto dust. Okay, we're just gonna spam this for the rest of the video, just because why not? But yeah. Before I do have stuff to say about the Colts, but before I get back to that, there's a little more to talk about college football because yeah, that was a pretty chaotic week.
I mean, Kansas is the Grim Reaper of all. Like they beat BYU, they beat Iowa State, they beat Colorado. Like, talk about being the Grim Reaper and being the kings of the most inconsistent. Think how frustrated you would have to be as a Kansas State fan. Oh, sorry, my bad. Kansas fan, right? You were projected to probably be like a contender in the Big 12. And then if I were to list off all the opponents who that you were able to beat, you would think, hey, we're gonna be in the Big 12 championships, and I go, no. You're gonna be 5-6 and playing be bowl eligible next week. How would you react?
Kansas would be the best team in the Big 12 if they could just hold on to a lead.
That's true. But hey, I will say this though, it's Kansas team. They did lose to UNLV, so always worth noting that.
I was gonna say that if you lose to Kansas, you're probably a really good football team. But then I saw that Houston lost to Kansas,
and they are not a very good football team.
No, they are 4-7.
They are 4-2.
But I did want to say this real quick before we get back to more NFL stuff. Iowa needs to fire Kirk right now. I'm tired of this shit.
Now, like exactly right now.
I better get I want my notification right now.
Hey guys, we know you're listening. Iowa.
Can it be like some terrible like YouTube intro? Like some terrible YouTube intro. That's so cringy. That's right, guys. I fired
Kurt.
Listen, all I'm gonna say is that the people would demand a sequel to the Untitled Iowa Project.
We'll see. We'll see after Iowa loses the next bowl game 42-0. Because
no, I think
guess
you guys
what?
will win this bowl game because you're not playing a top 25 team.
No, we will.
Oh, we do have some interesting college news before we get back to the Colts. Western Illinois won their final game of the season.
We finished the season with 4 wins. Or 5, I don't remember.
Improvement.
Oh no, it is. Illinois has won more games this season than they have won in the past 7.
Jesus Christ.
That's just sad.
Anyway.
Football too? Ew.
Anyway, I believe there was somebody snorting some, Colombian snow in the other room.
I believe it is the, do you want to build a snowman? Hold up. Hold up. That's right. Anthony Richardson's gonna lead us to the playoffs this year. I swear the carousel's gonna stop. Just you wait. Earth Day, you need to become to the death. They need to talk to you. No, I don't need to go there. Never We're gonna win.
Mr. Ursay, I heard Sam Darnold's going to be on the market this offseason.
I'm signed to a 1 year, $50 million contract.
Oh no! I think Mr. Ursay died.
Okay, let's
Speaking
take
of-
over.
speaking-
I'm going to take over from. Sorry, I do actually have some things to say about the Colts. Sorry to interrupt, but I do actually have some things to say. Regarding the Colts, I was watching. I did see the Lions game, and I could just tell this was the typical Anthony Richardson game where he would make great deep passes, would miss some short passes, and would have his receivers drop balls. This was the perfect Anthony Richardson game that we just saw against the Detroit Lions, where it's just like, it feels like, the talent's there, it's just not put together yet. Whether it be because of Richardson, or not because of Richardson, because it feels like there is. I can admit, for all of Richardson's struggles, I can admit that there are a lot of things that do go wrong for him, that are out of his control. Now, I will say, regarding the Colts, I need to bring this up because I've looked at this ever since I started editing the Indianapolis Colts video, and it has been on my mind ever since then. Like, this is a nagging part of my brain now that needs to be let go and released into the world because it annoys me. It hurts my eyes looking at this and knowing that this is what the Colts have given Anthony Richardson. Mr. Ursay and Mr. Ballard, please, for the love of God, draft a tight end. Your tight end one right now is Mo Alley Cox, and he has.
Don't stop talking right now. You do not disrespect the GOAT of all time, the GOAT for one game a season, Mo Alley Cox. We will not be taking any Mo Alley Cox slander in this chat. You need to retract your statement right now, Mr. Nickman. That is some pure and utter absolute disinformation that you're spreading. Do not diss the great one-game legend of Mo Alley Cox.
You said
settle down.
Listen,
Settle down there,
Taegan.
Mr. Ursay.
It wasn't me.
If Mo Alley Cox get over 200 yards this season, I will take it back. Because right now, he's projected for under 200 yards this season. And he's the Colts tight end one.
Simply put, you don't disrespect one of the greatest tight ends of all time. You do not disrespect a man who you pick up from the fantasy. God bless it. You do not disrespect a man that you pick up from the waivers in fantasy because your tight end one's out for that week, and then he comes in and he has a absolute insanity run. You do not say that to a man who has done such favors for you like that.
Listen,
Shame
buddy,
on
listen. You shut your fucking mouth. Let me talk here.
You
Because
shut your
let me
mouth.
say this.
You shut your mouth.
You
You
shut
shut
your
your
fucking
mouth. You shut your fucking mouth. You shut your fucking mouth.
Adam Corn, you fucking eater.
Ladies, you're both very pretty.
Mo
Can you guys
Alley-
please kiss and make up?
Mo Alley Cox could run circles around Brock Bowers, but he lets him do so. Because if Mo Alley Cox did it, then Brock Bowers would feel so much insecure about himself that he would be performing as not a number one tight end, but as a number two tight end. Mo Alley Cox is the Thanos. He is simply put nerfing himself to the point where he is a man among other men when he is a god amongst others.
He is a god amongst children.
Taegan, we get it. You like VCU. You like VCU players. We get it. And it's true. Him coming from VCU is pretty fucking based. That is very based, in fact. But I'm just saying here. I'm just saying.
Nobody
are really.
beats Cox. Nobody
It's
beats Cox.
You're really not beating the dick writing allegations right now.
I am beating. Look, you're not beating Cox right now. I'm straight up beating your allegation with Cox. I'm just saying.
Yeah, hope it tastes well, buddy.
What the fuck?
Anywho,
You know who the Colts
Speak-
should draft? Luke Leachy.
from Iowa, yes, I know. Speaking of Iowa, I am within that right now. But you want to know where I was in originally Illinois, because I feel like this is a good time to talk about the NFC North, because I feel like it's time for our regularly scheduled check-in with them. And I would like to start off with saying the Lions are really good. The Packers are really good.
Mm-hmm.
The Vikings' defense is really good.
Spencer, he's denying the Darnold. He's denying the Darnold.
Folks, we do not tolerate slander of the GTVS. Get them,
Slandering
get
the Donald will get you
get
sent
the hell out
into
of here.
the crystal under Super Bowl
Your
Project
Vice President J.J.
2025.
Jefferson, your Vice President J.J. Vance cannot save you now, Mr.
Get the hell
Darnold.
out of here. Don't leave him out in the cold. Don't give him his coat, folks.
I do want to say this because I feel like the Packers and Lions are they're both good. I just don't think they're that interesting to talk about because I feel like there's one game that we really, really, really need to talk about, and that's Bears Vikings. Yes, on Sunday, and I'm going to let Spencer speak his first since it is only fair since his team won.
Thank you for tuning in to my wonderful words. When I actually bothered to do a pre-recorded video, it means a lot that the GTVS Patriots came out in droves, hundreds of thousands even, to hear my words and what I had to say about how the Minnesota Vikings and, of course, the God Emperor quarterback of the United States. And quite frankly, it seems that the Donald himself was inspired by my video to send out his assistant, his true assistant, JP Vance, to kick the game-winning field goal. And some say it was actually the Darnold's third leg that kicked that field goal. Some are saying. And quite frankly, I wouldn't be surprised if Jim Irsay starts snorting him because of how great he is and how much of a euphoric feeling he brings to all of Minnesota and how we need to make America skull again, and that's how part of Project Super Bowl 2025. Look it up, folks. Nothing but great news.
Any great words from the Darnold. Now it's time for me and Nick to say our piece. Before I start, I'm going to say this real quick. I don't think it is fair to call the Bears a bad team because I don't think bad teams go into overtime with potential Super Bowl contenders this year. Not once, but 2 games in a row. I want to clarify that. If anyone dares say that the Bears are bad, I will point at you and I will laugh at you for being an idiot.
The Bears are bad. This is coping.
Luke,
I'm sorry, it's coping. This is it's coping. Your coach is bad. You have the quarterback of your future, and that's
great. And Eberflop.
Mr. Nickman, I fear we must enlighten the Canadian because he does not know the error of his ways. I don't think you can call the Bears a bad team because, simply put, look how many games they were in this year against teams who are good.
Congratulations, the Bears, you can't finish.
Listen,
just like
let me take it from here. Let me take it from here because, simply put, I see the vision here. This is how I see the vision here. The Chicago Bears aren't a bad team, but they sure are coached like a bad team. They sure are handled like a bad team, and they sure are coached like a team that doesn't know how to be clutch in overtime or be clutch in a very close game situation. And the thing is, I feel like that is my biggest takeaway from the Bears these past 2 weeks, is the simple fact that they just haven't been able to finish games off. Just haven't been able to finish it. I think how, with just the Packers game, you had the chance. You should have ran a play or two more just to get a little more yards for Santos, and just maybe that kick wouldn't have gone blocked. And then, of course, the Vikings game, where I was full on expecting, okay, the game's basically over. I mean, Caleb gets a late touchdown. That's cool. That's nice to see. Well, love to see it. Caleb's had a great game. You love to see it.
There's an onside kick.
Yes, the onside kick, which somehow wasn't the craziest thing to happen in that minute, I might add. But yes, there was an onside kick. And the Bears somehow tied it up. And it's like, you know what? Fuck it. What do we have to lose here? The only thing we had to lose is losing in overtime, of course. At the same
The
time...
only thing to lose was the game.
Yeah. At the same time, though, I didn't really feel that bad, to be honest, because it tells me what I already know about the Chicago Bears this season. This is a talented team. Do they have their flaws? Of course. Is there a lot of inexperience? Absolutely. But there is talent here, and there is something to build on, especially when Caleb Williams looks as strong as he has these past 2 games since Shane Waldron got fired. The only issue is, there is a certain cockroach that is running this team right now, that is currently coaching this team, that has not been exterminated yet. And it is a matter of when, not if, the cockroach gets executed.
I just want to say this real quick. I don't think the Bears are a bad team in the same way I don't think the Bengals are a bad team. Because I view it like this. You have way too much talent on that team, simply put, to be bad. And the Bears and Bengals have had really similar seasons when you look at it. A very slow and grindy first couple of weeks, start to rebound somewhere in the middle, and losing in heartbreaking fashion in back-to-back games because you just don't get lucky enough. And here's the thing. If you're, I'm fine if you're going to say the Bears are bad, then I feel like you're calling teams like the Bengals bad. And
Bengals
they've
are
had
bad.
experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just wrong. That's wrong. I think that's wrong. To say that they're bad is to say that Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and everyone that's making them close within those games are bad. I feel, if anything, you could say that the Bears are underachieving, and I would 100% agree with that. But I don't agree with the Bears being outright bad. A bad team is the... And I can't believe I'm saying this. A bad team is like the New York Jets. That team is bad. The Giants are bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The Raiders are bad. The Bears aren't bad. They are an underachieving team that just can't get things to go their way. There's a fine line between what we consider good and bad in the NFL, and I think we need to view that more because, simply put, to call teams like the Bears bad and lump them in the category with the fucking Giants, Jets, Raiders, Cowboys, all of those teams, it is completely and utterly disrespectful because you're putting teams like the Buccaneers. Because the Buccaneers have been within that same aspect too. They were going on like a 3 to 4 game losing streak, and they had to get a tune-up game against the Giants to get anything resembling an offense going again. You're calling teams like the Bucks, Bears, Bengals, those teams that have been going through rough patches bad, and that's just not true.
Well,
Listen, I'm going to comment on this. I got to say this. Listen, I understand what you're saying here. I get what you're trying to say, but the fact of the matter is, the Bengals and the Bears are 4-7. By definition, they are, by definition, a bad team. And I'm going to say this. Before you counter, I'm going to say this. Just because the team itself is bad does not mean every player on the team is bad. Like, saying the Bengals are bad does not mean you think Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase are bad. Anything anything against, like, seriously, far from it. It's just like the Bears. They have talented players. They have very talented players, in fact. Are we going to call those players bad? No, but by the definition of what is a bad team, the Bears and the Bengals are bad teams right now. Does that mean everything about them sucks? No, of course not. They are not to the level of a team like the Giants, Jets, Raiders, Jaguars. They're not to that level. But it's still, they're not good teams. Like, I'm not going to pretend like this is a good Bears team. Is this a potentially talented Bears team? Absolutely. Is this a Bears team that would be better if they didn't have an idiot coaching them? Yes, 100%. And there have been many ways where the Bears have been a one-play difference from being a good team. However, that's just how life works. If you cannot win those games and you fall to 4-7 because you can't win close games, you're a bad team. That's how it works.
You have
Here-
to count
Okay.
everybody on the team, and that includes Eberflus.
And here's my thing. Here's my thing. Good teams score more than 3 points against the Patriots. I'm sorry.
Bro, that is
a
true.
reasonable statement. I will say this: they're a team that's getting better. The Bears, I would consider them bad if they would have kept Shane Waldron. But with the way they've looked these past couple of games, I can't say in my mind that they are bad. Now, Nick, you are correct. There's a difference between saying the team is bad and there's no correlation to saying that those players are bad. I agree. However, I just want to say this as well. I view bad teams as teams that are just in every single aspect imaginable not good. I think because for me it goes bad, underachieving, mid-tier, overachieving, and then you have that elite conversation. I think if anything, go ahead, Spencer.
I think the disconnect here is that your definition of bad is like bottom of the barrel, whereas I personally would use the term terrible or awful or worse than 100 September 11ths to describe that tier.
That's reasonable. That's reasonable. In that case, I would be inclined to agree within your views that would the Bears be bad? Yes. However, I personally think they are more underachieving than anything, because I've said this since day one. You can't call this team is too good to be bad. Simply put, that's how I've felt since day one with this roster. Are they good enough to be underachieving? Yeah. Are they good enough to be underachieving? Yes. Are they good enough to be mid? Yes. And everything above. But is this roster good enough to be bad? No. It's like how the Bengals roster isn't good enough to be bad, or the Bucks roster isn't good enough to be bad, or like how the fucking or like how, well, not really the Colts roster, but the Colts defense isn't good enough to be isn't good enough to be bad. It's just it's frustrating. It's another frustrating season. I think we're going to be a lot better going on forward. However, I was speaking with Sorry, Spencer. You can go ahead. I just had one more thing to say before we potentially move on.
You mentioned the Cowboys earlier. I actually think that's like a really good comparison with you guys this season, except like a weird Bizarro version where
I think
one thing I want to say about the Bears, I like to dust up this old meme a bit. I love to use.
You're gonna bring up the cycle.
No, not the cycle. It's this wonderful meme that I love to use whenever the Mariners played the Angels when Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout were on the team. Who has seen Megamind? Of course everyone has. If you haven't, why the hell not? And it is, what is the difference between me and you, right? Let's go to Let's what's a team with no expectation? Let's say the Raiders, right? You know, we're bad just like the Raiders. Bad's the definition of opinion. What's the difference between me and you? The Bears have expectations. The Raiders do not. The Bears had, for a while, as I've been seeing on the tweeters, they have had very high expectations, it seems like. It seems like it's I feel like it's a symptom of big move-itis, right? You make a big move, and then therefore the expectation is immediate turnaround. I feel like it's been like this ever since they traded away the first overall pick, that this was the year that everything's going to turn around and we're going to make the playoffs. It's this year. This is what we expect our football team to do, and it yet never amounts to that. I think expectations are way too high, and I find that Bears are sprinting before they can walk.
I guess that's fair. I think there were probably a lot of high expectations, but I would also like to remind that when have the Bears ever had this exciting of an off season at all?
Since you traded away the first overall pick. Because all I heard was
that's different because we didn't.
How Justin Fields was going to get all the help he needed. Justin Fields this, Justin Fields that. I remember how...
And speaking of Justin Fields, I seem to remember a certain offseason where you traded your first rounder and then the following year's first rounder for Justin Fields.
Mm-hmm. Like, it's expectations.
I think last year people were... I don't think everyone was on the Bears to the playoffs side. I think it was more people thought the Bears could potentially make it, but I don't think it was like 100% like locked in stone about that. This year, 100% people thought playoffs were an expectation because everyone thought the NFC is fairly weak. No one's going to really compete. Turns out the NFC has a complete 180 this year, and both of the teams in this division decide, oh, wow, I'm actually him, and then they're just competing for the playoffs. Because you have the NFC West just being a complete hellfire. You have the NFC North being a complete gauntlet for teams. You have the Buccaneers and the Falcons fighting for superiority. And then you have you have the Eagles and the Commanders just being that good. I think a lot of people were expecting, I think a lot of people were very low on the NFC, and then suddenly it just got good.
Yeah, all of a sudden Kirk Cousins' fat ass is just working on everybody.
Oh, God. But I did want to say this real quick. Everyone has been talking about Chicago Bears head coach candidates. And I was talking with Noah about this earlier, and I think I've come down to 4 potential scenarios. And I would like to name them just. Scenario 1, you have the good ending. You end up signing Ben Johnson. He comes to your organization. Everything goes well. The second option is, aw shucks, might as well go get the diet version, which is you get Joe Barry. Well, not Joe Barry, Joe Brady. I almost cursed us. Joe Brady.
Sorry,
from the Panthers. Not Panthers. From the Bills. Yeah.
Bills OC.
And then the third option is the Lovie Smith route, which is you hire Thomas Brown because he's cheap. He'll develop your quarterback over the next 3 years. If he's good, you can continue to pay him cheap. And if he's not good, well, he'll develop your quarterback for 3 years, and you can find some other schlop to do it once Caleb is fully ready. And then you have, in my opinion, the wild card option. And this is solely because I've seen a lot of Bears insiders talk about him recently in head coaching conversations, especially with the Bears. And before I do that, I would just like to ask everyone, who do you think that person is?
I have a name on my brain, but that's option 5.
I have some names in my head, and one of them is particularly interesting because I think you may have mentioned him before, but I'm gonna wait and see. I'm gonna wait and see what you say.
Hold up. We're gonna take a guess. Gotta scroll up. Okay, gonna scroll down. He put it in the fucking group chat. God damn it.
In the meantime,
No, I don't have it. I thought I had it.
All right, Taegan. So who is it?
Josh McCown.
Josh McCown.
I am not joking.
That's not who I had on mind.
I am not joking when I say this. There have been some Bears insiders who have been saying Josh McCown might be in consideration for head coach.
That might honestly be dumber than me saying Ken Dorsey. Holy crap.
Oh my.
And you want to know why? You want to know why their explanation?
Darnold?
Well, not only Darnold. Josh McCown has a lot of ties towards the Chicago Bears. Not to mention, too, I believe his agent is the same agent as Ryan Poles, which, ironically enough, is the same agent that has got Matt Eberflus, too.
So it's for convenience, not... Oh, that sounds like such a shithead move, though. This is for convenience. This is just the convenient move. Not the right move. This is the lazy man's move.
Oh my!
This is Ryan Poles'. I'm going to do some fuck shit, and y'all are gonna sit back and let me cook. Option. And here's the thing.
Cooking cereal?
Here's the thing.
Yeah, you know that
it is
that gif of Homer Simpson burning cereal and milk. Yeah.
Look, you guys have no idea the reaction everyone would have if that ended up happening.
Yeah, it's gonna be laughter.
But come January, because once the Vikings do eventually get eliminated from the playoffs, which, whether it be Super Bowl or wild card, you're going to see the notification. Bears are going to interview Josh McCown.
I won't laugh, but I will laugh when it says, meet the new Bears head coach, Josh McCown. This is like the most...
Look, I like Josh McCown.
Yeah, but the guy hasn't had an OC gig.
No. I get that. I like Josh McCown when, like, as a quarterback in, like, Bears history. Do I want him to be the next head coach? No.
Something that quote unquote Jim Irsay forgot to mention in his Coke bender was that he hired Jeff Saturday to be his head coach, which this might be dumber than that.
Yeah. It's the one thing that, and here's the thing, it's the Bears, so it wouldn't surprise me one bit. But, like, my thing is, why, this is a convenience hire, and again, I have a very positive opinion about Ryan Pace. Sorry, Ryan Poles. Fuck, Ryan Poles. I have a very good opinion about Poles. I think Poles has done good moves for the Bears. He's
gotten the Bears into the situation where they're at right now,
I think
which is a franchise quarterback, franchise wide receiver.
He's made good moves, and I like these moves. I would be questioning even keeping the man around if he's like, okay, he comes up to ownership group and says, hey, we're going to go for Josh McCown as our coach. I'd be going, wait, what? This is like professional. But then this is the Bears, so it's like, sure, why not?
and then it's and then you tug at his face and then the gibberish face is underneath and it's just like, can I have some booger sugar?
That was the next one.
Also too, Nick can vouch for me in this, but me and Nick remember Sears Tower from last year that broke a lot of bear news. And would you like to tell him? Would you like to tell the class what he said going into Thanksgiving?
Yes, I can tell.
Going into the future.
Yes, I can start with the ominous tweet that Mr. Sears Tower made yesterday. And this is not just for the Chicago Bears. This is for another team that's playing on Thanksgiving that I shall read directly right here. Able out, showing out, loose out, polls safe. This is that was the first tweet, and for some reason it also mentions Todd Bowles, which I don't know what he's doing here. But we'll just move on from that. And he noted lots to talk about regarding these two teams. And this is just something, because this is the insider, as Taegan noted, that broke the DJ Moore stuff before it happened. And he said, Evan Warren, who is our president, wanted Eberflus gone. Poles was adamant on keeping him. Warren deferred the polls last year because of his experience, but it sounds like Warren has taken a more prominent role now. And regarding Flus, Poles and Warren are in lockstep about firing him. And it's also worth noting that Ian Cunningham, our assistant GM, that's been, looked at a lot for, other GM jobs and all that, he also wanted Eberflus fired. This move, with Eberflus coming back for a third season, this was Poles' decision. This was his decision, and he is the one who stuck with it. Now, Poles, it's also noted that he is getting another chance. Why? Because he's done a tremendous job of being honest and critical with himself and Bears leadership. He has admitted what and how went wrong with the Flus hire, and he's already begun to lay out steps ahead to make the right hire in the upcoming cycle. That's what I want to note. That is what I wanted to note first. There is tweets. There is another tweet noting that he made today. Per my understanding, Eberflus is expected to remain the Bears head coach for the remainder of the season, irrespective of how the team performs against the Lions and beyond. And he also noted, though, quoting that Flus is still going to get fired. That's already been decided. Basically, the logic right now is, what difference does it make firing him right now? Which I can agree or disagree with that. I personally still think he should be fired after Thursday. But you know what? At the end of the day, if he's getting fired at the end of the season, then I'll take it.
I mean, at least if he gets fired at the end of the season, he'll probably get a slightly higher draft pick.
True.
That's true.
That is true.
Bears just have too rough of a schedule, though, to get a very high placement. Because it goes off strength of schedule when it comes to draft order. And the Bears have had one of the roughest schedules in the NFL this year, so
shouldn't they get higher because their schedule was harder?
No, that's not how that works.
Lol.
Because if you're 3 and 14 and your strength of schedule was 303 and another team was 3 and 14 and they had a strength of schedule of like 600.
I see it. I'm sorry. I see it now.
You're good.
Yeah,
Pretty much. But yeah, Mr. Sears Tower is a Bears legend. Most people love his insights when he comes out once or twice a year and he has to make a new Twitter account. Because being an NFL insider, can't have too many footprints laying around,
Yeah.
He's probably
by
a
the
source
way,
in the organization that doesn't want to be discovered.
No, he has to be within the NFL itself because he knows both Bears and Giants stuff, and those two are completely disconnected organizations in general.
Yeah, because this is also applying to the Giants here. Because it seems that John Morris changed his mind, at least for the time being. Because as I also noted in that tweet, they also mentioned Dable and Show, and chances are they're going to be gone at the end of the season as well.
Can I say?
Well, the thing is too. Sorry, real quick.
Can I say?
I just didn't want. You go ahead. I'll wait.
Can I just say that the Giants this year remind me a lot of the 2017 New York Giants, where it's like you're getting rid of a mistake of a head coach, where obviously even though they made a playoff game, several some might say, they're clearly not the person for the job, and they tried to have the quarterback who's a little loopy, but he was doing his job fine as the scapegoat, and they brought in a guy who had already shown to be not that great. Anyway, what I'm saying is, Dable McAdoo and Shane Reese.
Yeah, I did want to say this real quick too.
Go ahead.
Before Nick goes on, they did also say you guys obviously remember Hard Knocks with the Giants this offseason, right?
No.
Oh, I've stopped. I don't really pay attention to Hard Knocks anymore.
Well, basically, it gave an insight to basically what all goes on in the offseason for an average NFL franchise. And apparently, Joe Shinen, I think that's how you say his name.
I think it's Shane.
Joe Schoen did not want to do that at all. But John Mara, he wanted to do it. So simply put, he had basically the GM for the Giants had his entire process put on live television for the entire world to see when he didn't want to, and it's because Joe Mara wanted more attention towards the Giants. He also writes that out in some of his tweets as well. So this is just another classic Giants fuck up.
I mean, the thing is, you mentioned the Giants in the comparison between 2017. The only difference is that this year's Giants didn't have, I feel like, close to the expectations that 2017 had. Because remember, they were coming off a very strong season entering 2017, and then the 2017 Giants were basically the team from hell. Like, that's everything that could go wrong that season went wrong for them. And granted, I do think people understood why the Giants would move on from Daniel Jones, because I do think Daniel Jones just wasn't playing well at all, and definitely not close to worthy of the money that they were paying him. But it really says something that they found a way to make the situation where it's like we're moving on from Daniel Jones and make themselves look like the biggest pieces of shit imaginable. Because the way they handled the Daniel Jones release situation was just... That's not how you handle those situations. Let me tell you that.
I think differently. This wasn't the benching, I feel could have been handled better. Yes, but he requested his release and was granted it almost immediately.
I mean, that's fair. If he requested his release, that's understandable. It's just, it really feels strange how, okay, if you're going into this, you're like, okay, we're going to bench him, and okay, suddenly he's quarterback 3. Okay, suddenly he's not even quarterback 3 anymore, and now he's playing safety in the practice scrimmages, and it's just, it's just, I don't know, it feels like it's a rough situation for the Giants, and it's only made worse by how they performed their following game against the Buccaneers, where it's just, it seems very clear that, like, from the looks of it, it just seems very clear that the Giants have just, they Brian Dable's lost that locker room. As much as I like Dable, he's lost that locker room from all signs, from like how Giants players are feeling, like what they were saying after the Daniel Jones situation to basically just the comments that like Malik Neighbors made after the game, where he was just really, really harsh.
I will say this, though, in terms between the two franchises, compared to how Eberflus lost the locker room and compared to how Dable lost it, I think there is a very fine line that says the way Dable lost his locker room isn't his fault compared to Eberflus, because ultimately, he got stuck with Daniel Jones his first year, and he made the playoffs because Saquon Barkley is a ridiculous football player, which we'll get into him probably wrapping things up. But simply put, like, did Dable lose the locker room? Yeah, but was it his fault? I mean, do you blame him for being basically hogtied to sign Daniel Jones to a $40 million contract his fault? Do you consider having to pick up the remains of David Gettleman his fault? Do you consider...
I don't blame him for that. But it's just, unfortunately, I view it similar. I view Dable with the Giants similar to how Robert Saleh was seen with the Jets. I feel like, obviously it just feels like things aren't working, but, at the very least, I think both of them will be fine because they're great coordinators and they should be getting employment elsewhere, wherever Saleh decides to go next season. He'll easily get a coordinator job. And from what I've heard, this is also going back to what Sears Tower had to say. If and when Joe Brady leaves the Bills for a head coaching job, most people around the league expect Brian Dable to return to the Bills as their offensive coordinator. So I think regardless, Dable should be fine, regardless of how this inevitably ends. And for the record, most comments I've seen from Giants fans seem to have a general consensus where it's like, it's the right move to fire Dable, but chances are he's gonna. It would be very surprising if he doesn't do well wherever he goes next.
Now, there is one more game that we should probably talk about, because, simply put, it is too insane to not talk about. Cowboys and Commanders.
Mm-hmm.
Simply put, I don't know what to say about that. The fact of the matter is, last week we had two potential games of the year candidates, and they were both in the 12 p.m. slot. And the fact of the matter is, this game was 9-12 with 5 minutes to go, correct?
9-12. It was 13-9. Yes.
Still, 13-9 with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Mr. Nickman, or anyone else, would you like to say what the final score of that game was?
Yes, I got to watch this game live, and there's a reason during my Bears recap I said that was the second craziest thing to happen in that moment was the Bears game going to overtime. Because right as that happened, this shit was happening. And yeah, with 5 minutes to go, it was 13-9 Cowboys over the Commanders. The final score of this game, 34-26 Cowboys.
And that doesn't even describe how crazy it really got.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy that the score ended that way because I have Terry McLaurin in fantasy football, and it's a league that I really wanted to win, and he had a whopping 2 points at the 12-9 mark, and then thank God he won the game. Thank God he had those phenomenal end of the game performance that helped me.
Phenomenal.
Absolutely phenomenal.
I will say this though. Keep in mind, if for those at home, that would equivalent to two touchdowns for each team within the last 5 minutes. On average, there was a touchdown almost every minute and 15 seconds. But regardless, I think what needs to be said is Or could we potentially be seeing the Cliff Kingsbury collapse happen? Are we going
Yeah.
to see that?
One might say the Commanders are falling off a cliff. Ha.
Yeah, I mean
No!
that too. But let me say this: it needs to be said just how crazy the ending was because yeah, that Terry McLaurin had that touchdown, like a freaking 86-yard touchdown with 21 seconds remaining, and it's like, oh my god, okay, holy shit, this just happened. They have to tie it. And the commentators, let me give credit to the Fox commentators. They mentioned the fact that their kicker had missed the PAT earlier. He had missed the PAT earlier, and right as they finished saying that, he misses the PAT to tie the game.
Announcer's curse.
Like, that is like one of the funniest things you will ever see, and truly a perfect way to cap off that game after the Cowboys got a touchdown return on the onside kick right after. Like, that had shades of that, like, for me, this game had a lot of shades of the wild game back in 2013 between the Vikings and the Ravens. Like, this where all shit went to hell, like, in the snow in the final couple of minutes, and everyone was just
I
scoring.
know exactly what you're talking about, and I'm pretty sure that is the game that ended up getting Frazier fired.
Yeah, that was the game that basically sealed his fate. But it just gave me so many vibes going back to that game, because it's just like every crazy thing that could happen in those final 5 minutes and 15 seconds happened.
Yeah. And in the immortal words of Leslie Frazier, let's look at the tape on that one. We're gonna look at the tape on that one. Which is by the end of his tenure, I was just sick and tired of like that type of bullshit from the coach. I'm sure Eberflus has one of those phrases that just drives you up a wall every time he says it during like a post game.
Oh, we have one. We're gonna go look at the film and try to find the answers.
Oh my god, that was one from Nagy too, right? Where he was just like, "We're gonna find the answer."
No, we're gonna find the why.
Find the
Yeah.
Oh my.
Find the why, more like find these nuts.
There's a reason.
Breaking news: Julio Jones would like to still play for an NFL team. My brother in Christ, it's over. Let it go.
There's a reason McDonald's Nagy became such a huge meme.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, McDonald's hamburgers legend, Matt Nagy.
We just gotta find the answer. No, wait, no. That sounds no. It needs to be murder crap. We just gotta find the answer out there.
Yeah, just hang. Because that reminds me of something I wanted to do with the Earthsay boys. Just see, Jeff Saturday. That's our answer for Coach. Get him off of ESPN and into onto our sideline.
Oh shit! I missed that. Oh no!
By the way, I'm glad you mentioned Jeff Saturday. I'm glad you mentioned that because I love hearing Jeff Saturday give coaching advice where he thinks the Bears should keep Matt Eberflus.
I literally laughed my ass off when I saw that this morning. That was pretty funny.
Well, I did want to say this because I feel like it would be a great ender. And, the NFL season is getting close to a wrap-up, and simply put, this is the first year where I don't feel like there is one true MVP contender this year.
Nah.
There is, and his name is
And I want to pose this question, or rather spread it into your guys' mind. Do you guys think that Saquon Barkley could win MVP this year?
No.
Probably not, but he's definitely the best running back in the league this year.
It's-
Who
No
do you
doubt.
think? Who would you say right now is more valuable than Saquon Barkley right now?
Sam
Then I
Darnold,
pose
folks.
that.
You've never seen a player more valuable than him. A tremendous value, folks.
There's not a, so here's the thing. Saquon Barkley has been absolutely amazing this. I almost died.
Oh,
Hold on, my heart needs to reset. A creeper almost fucking killed me.
you want me to take over
Nick,
from here?
Go for it.
Yes,
Yep,
Nick.
go for it.
Okay. Yeah, so the thing is, I will say this though, contrary to what others think, I honestly think Saquon has a shot. I'm not saying he's gonna do it, but I do think he's got a shot for the simple fact that, I mean, he has been playing absolutely incredible football, best football of his career. He is playing, making the New York Giants eat a flaming pile of shit, which I'm sure many people will love to see. You know, and he's on pace for, right now, this is just to say, he's on pace for 15 rushing touchdowns this year, a good amount of receiving yards, some touchdowns there. But also, I think there's something worth noting here, and I think this will be interesting to consider if this will be something to consider if Saquon has a shot at MVP. Can he break the single season rushing yards record? Can he do that? Because all I'm going to say is, if he can do that, he has a real shot at it. Because that...
I think
that
if he
is
breaks the record, he
if
just
he
wins
breaks
it.
the record, that is much different from just having a great running back having a great season, because that is, breaking records, especially in today's NFL, it really means a lot. And I think if Saquon can do that, that would be amazing to see. Now, on the other side, who defies Saquon and is the one to block him in his path from winning MVP? Well, there's a certain MVP winner that will probably be standing in his way, and I'd like to imagine that people can picture in their mind who I am thinking of when I say an MVP winner standing in Saquon Barkley's way.
But the way I see it, I've been thinking about this a lot actually, and Saquon is a perfect example of what I would like to call a playground player, which is somebody who, like, you can see, like, an elementary school kid be like, yeah, I want to be Saquon Barkley when we play Dead or Alive or something. Sort of like how when I was a kid, that person was Adrian Peterson or LaDainian Tomlinson or Sean Alexander even.
My boy Sean Alexander.
Like, the way I see what you're saying, it's fun for anyone to watch him play. Like, he's just fun to watch him play. I will say, it is really funny. It is really funny, though, seeing you mention how I want to be like Saquon Barkley, and I immediately think back to that Draw Play Dave comic that he made when Saquon hadn't gotten his contract yet, and it's like, no, don't be me. Don't be like me.
That was Jonathan. Oh, yeah, that was Saquon.
Yeah.
I do want to say this real quick. I think he can break the record, because you want to know why? Saquon Barkley is at 14,000 rushing yards so far.
1,400.
There are 6 games left. So, if you do the math, he's did it in 11 games. So let's even just give him let's just round it up to say 700 yards per 6 game. If he can if he keeps on continuing through that trajectory, he will break the record. And I will say this as well. You want to look? You want to know the Eagles' next couple opponents? They have the Ravens, which tough group. Tough group. Not going to say that they aren't. But afterwards, the Panthers, the Steelers, another tough group. You have the Commanders again, who got killed by the run game. You have the Cowboys, and then you have the Giants. Simply put, if Saquon can get 100 yards against either the Eagles or Steelers at least once, there's a complete possibility he can get a lot more yards in those remaining few games. He just needs one 100-yard game against them. And who knows, if Saquon does end up absolutely gashing the Ravens defense and gets like 150 yards, he might actually just be MVP this season. I think Lamar's having one of his best. I think Lamar's having one of his best seasons. But like, simply put, I don't think that outshines what Saquon Barkley is doing.
I mean, it's just I do want to comment because first off, I gotta say if he was to break the record, it is a damn shame they wouldn't be playing the Giants at MetLife because that would be the funniest shit imaginable if he broke the rushing record playing against the Giants at MetLife. But obviously, that can't happen. But it's more like if Saquon breaks the record, then I do think you should give him MVP. The only thing is, as I said, there is a former MVP standing in his way, and he's going to be on the opposite sideline against him in the Eagles' next game. Because as great as Saquon is doing, it needs to be said right now that Lamar Jackson, coming off his MVP season last year, is on pace for 14 more passing touchdowns, which I think is crazy. That's wild to think about.
Right. I do want to say this as well. I think... Sorry, my brain just kind of got into a bit of a rut. I just want to say in general, it's crazy how Saquon is more of the guy on the Eagles than Jalen Hurts is. The craziest thing is about that team, I would consider A.J. Brown, Saquon Barkley, Lane Johnson all more important and valuable players to their team right now on offense compared to Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, this might be a hot take, but, Jalen Hurts just feels there, if that makes any sense. Like, he's just...
Oh, I agree. I think he's probably the most overrated quarterback in the NFL.
I will say this though, he's been there, but I will say I do think he's been fine this season, and you will take that over last season, where I feel like last season he was definitely a detriment to the Eagles last year, especially when the Eagles just collapsed and it felt like Hurts was playing some of his worst football. I think he's been fine this season. I think the Eagles will absolutely take that. It's not 2022 Jalen Hurts, but you'll still take it, especially when A.J. Brown's doing A.J. Brown things, and Saquon Barkley is Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, by the way, growing up, who was your guys' playground character, playground player that...
I mean, I didn't really get into football that young, but I guess if I had to say who would have been like my playground character, I suppose it would probably have to be Matt Forte.
I was more into baseball, so it would have been Derek Jeter, so...
what about you, Nickman?
I mean, I'll be real, Matt Forte was a good one to have for me, but I'll be real. I would also look at other teams where it's like I would have a playground character, like someone like, especially if it was like, knowing that they were a Vegas local, like someone honestly, for example, someone Steven Jackson was a great playground character, especially considering that he was basically having to carry the Rams for 16 games every season, and he was very, very fun to watch, regardless of how dog shit the Rams were during that time. But I mean, yeah, as much as a division rival he was, I also have to admit that, like, watching 2012 Adrian Peterson was that was something else. Like, watching him that season was something else.
It was a religious experience as somebody who was a fan for that.
Yeah.
Although personally, as a kid, before I knew everything about him, my playground character was Brett Favre.
Oh, no way!
You know what's funny? I don't know where it is. I can't find it because I don't know where it is. But I actually used to have like those freaking like those like action figures, like the NFL action figures they used to sell in store, and one of them that I had was Brett Favre in a Vikings jersey.
Oh, actually, somewhere in my closet, I swear I have like a purple Brett Favre jersey, unless I donated it to my mom for some reason.
Yeah.
I got it for Christmas, like the year they went to the NFC, like the year that he came to the Vikings, like
2009.
Yeah, like that year, I got a Brett Favre Vikings jersey for Christmas, and it.
Do you still have that jersey?
It's either in my closet or it's back at home. If I
mean, you're gonna be going to your parents anyway, so
yeah.
I don't know if I still have it. Sorry to interrupt, but I don't know if I still have it. But I remember, I used to have an action figure of Shaquille O'Neal. I had an action figure of Shaq. The only thing to note is, it was Celtic Shaq.
Oh.
I just realized how funny
honestly,
it is that
this gives me an idea. You want to know one of my favorite things to do? Going on NFL Shop and finding like the fucking like on sale jerseys, because you see all like the former washed players in different uniforms.
Washed.
And you know what? I'm gonna go on right now, and as a little fun thing, let's take a look at some of the jerseys we can get right now. Or
give me some UFL Legends,
cheap.
baby.
Let me try to find something.
Fucking creeper! Holy fuck!
I'm sure you can get one for Vikings legend Jerry Tillery.
Let's look at the $10 range real quick.
Oh boy.
You can get a women's Indianapolis Colts Carson Wentz Nike jersey.
How much?
Or you can get
something I wanted to say about the Colts game that I forgot to mention. Why would you wear your jersey set called Indiana Knights when you're playing a noon game?
Oh my god, no way. Luke, I found your next purchase.
Is it in Washington? Okay.
I found a Russell Wilson's Broncos jersey.
But
for
like he's
$15.
I don't. Give me Seahawks. I'll take Seahawks.
No, that costs money.
The furnace again.
I'm sure you can find like a Seahawks Adrian Peterson jersey.
Oh, glasses.
Um,
See, that's a good one. That's a good one.
I'm proud to say there is a Jets Dalvin Cook jersey on the market.
Oh God!
I think another thing to note is that we're looking at jerseys and whatnot. But if you don't mind, if we change.
Holy crap! You're hitting a watermelon with another watermelon.
I know. Crazy!
It's
Oh.
just crazy, dude.
Oh, Nick,
hell yeah.
Nick, there's a men's Las Vegas Darren Waller jersey for $33.
There are multiple ones here. There are multiple Darren Waller jersey here. Oh my god.
Oh, there's also a creamsicle Mike White. I mean, not Mike White. A creamsicle Devin White jersey from when he was on the fucking
Buccaneers.
Buccaneers. You can still get Trey Lance jerseys. Oh my god.
It's over, bro. Let it go.
We can still get Jimmy G Raiders jerseys.
Nick. I found it. I found the jersey.
What?
I found the jersey that Spencer needs to get if the Vikings get him. Look in the server.
Oh no.
Is it
a Nickman?
Oh
server?
god. Oh,
Where's
it's
it
here.
go?
It's the general in here.
Oh, okay.
what is it?
It's
Is it
the Daniel
beautiful?
Jones Montreal Canadiens jersey.
Oh. I don't know why I made such a Collinsworth noise right there.
No, Spencer, it's now here's a guy!
Oh, what a throw! I'm thinking that. you know.
god, Mahomes!
Oh my! That's what someone who tends to do.
And you see what Mahomes just did? That's unbelievable!
Yeah, my mom hates Collinsworth, and it's entirely for not Mahomes reasons. She just hates his voice and accent. Like, she could tolerate everything else about him. It's just fucking accent and some of the words he uses sometimes. Like,
Now here's a
Guys.
guy!
Guys, you want to know what I just found?
What?
I just found a Nick Foles Chicago Bears jersey.
big
You
dick,
gotta get it.
dick,
You have to get it.
big dick.
$38.
Oh no, the hell
You
no.
gotta
38
get it, Nick.
bucks? No, 30 for $30. Oh, fuck. They should be
no
paying me 38
way.
bucks.
They have a CJ Precise Seahawks jersey still.
Oh god, that's old.
Where are you guys seeing these? The
NFL
I'm on the
Shop.com.
NFL shop.
Well,
Alright,
in
jerseys. Alright, and then lowest price. Let's see what kind of... Oh wait, I'm still in just the NFL shop. Jerseys. And then we go to lowest price. Sam Darnold Jets. Jeremy Chin jerseys they're still trying to get rid of. Oh hey! Are you the size of a preschooler, Luke?
oh, you know it!
They have preschool size Seahawks Wilson jerseys for $18.
Damn, that's what I should definitely get my kid if I ever have one.
Well, good news for you, they have it in infant size as well.
Let's go! That's right, Caitlin. You're not putting a Patrick Mahomes jersey on our kid. It's Russell Wilson. High knees all the day. High knees, baby.
God, they still have Matt Corral Carolina Panthers jerseys.
Oh, speaking of Matt Corral and the UFL, they are talking expansion talks. Which that's kind of been the topic of conversation, is they're talking expansion talks over at the UFL, which I figured it was going to happen one of these days. It was just going to be a matter of, I find it when. I felt that, especially when you look at this year, they did a really good job of establishing themselves, you know, as kind of a feeder league, as a good feeder league. I think they have, I mean, as much as you want to say about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, right? Like, the UFL is in a very successful place because of him.
Well, here's the way I feel about Dwayne Johnson. The way he's been with the UFL, perfect. 10 out of 10. No notes. The way he works as a heel in WWE, also 10 out of 10. Absolutely plays the part of like a Hollywood Hogan type perfectly. When he was trying to come back as a babyface, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, and also Red One, which is self-explanatory in terms of his Hollywood career right now. By the way, I got some breaking news to report regarding baseball. The Dodgers are signing Blake Snell.
Oh my god, a fucking course.
Juggerbear, get your wrist away from the knife. Get your wrist away from the knife.
Of course.
Juggerbear.
Why didn't the
Don't do
Giants
anything
try to sign
irrational.
this guy? Of fucking course. The Dodge, like...
Juggerbear, you're still with us, right?
I think
Oh
it's
no,
over.
I think he.
Oh
it's
my
over for him.
god.
Listen, in honor of Jugger, I must finish the Untitled Yankees project.
Oh, anybody
Also-
want a youth-size Kevin Byard jersey?
Ooh.
I might be interested
For the youths.
as a bear, as he's on the Bears. Oh, here's an interesting one. You can get a Buccaneers Tom Brady jersey for the low price of $56.
It's not bad. So yeah, it's Jesus Christ. Why is
Oh,
why?
they're still trying to.
Why do the Dodgers have to be the one team that's like, hey, how much can we sign this guy? What do you want to sign for? Oh, I'll sign for this much. Deal done.
I mean, apparently he's making 36.4 million annual average. So, yeah, not easy to see why Blake Snell basically just rolled up to LA for this. Like, I can't exactly blame him for that because that's a big number right there.
Oh my
Big
goodness,
number.
they're still trying to sell off Leighton Vander Esch jerseys.
Yeah. By the way, can I just say, given what happened last week, this is just for humor, but should I get myself an Amir Abdullah Raiders jersey?
I mean, I might get myself a Justice Hill jersey because he single-handedly won me that game against NRG where I'm
Like, look,
starting
man.
it up. Everyone, I would like to present to the class how I won in fantasy. I have Tommy DeVito as starting quarterback, Austin Eckler as starting running back, Justice Hill as starting running back, Wandale Robinson as starting wide receiver, Cortland Sutton as starting wide receiver, Brock Bowers as starting tight end, Darius Slayton as starting wide receiver, as the flex wide receiver, Broncos defense, and Will Lutz.
And you won?
Oh hey, Kent State's
You won.
0-12.
Oh,
Oh yeah, I was gonna get Noah on that. Noah, would you like to
Go.
do your would you like to do the line about the Kent State Golden Flashes?
Yes. Just recently, they finished their imperfect season 0-12. One of the worst college football teams you will ever see. They only led twice for the entire season, and this did not even include their FCS matchup against St. Francis. They're terrible. Oh, but they also have a head coach who may or may not be a gambling addict. That head coach is extended to begin this season, so they might be screwed even longer. Remember this team was in the MAC championship not many years ago? I remember when they were in the MAC championship not many years ago. Any Birds destroyed this entire program in 2 years, and it's fascinating to see what's happened to them.
Indeed, it is.
Mhm.
Wow.
That team is fucking horrible.
Also, I
Like-
found a women's Seahawks jersey for Artie Burns.
Ooh!
Is that what you were laughing at?
That's a good one. That's a good one, Spencer. That's a good one. That's a good one. But yeah, I mean, the thing about when, especially if you're a college program that straight up doesn't win a single game, especially when you are flat out, given an easy win with an let's face it, when you play an FCS opponent, this is the game where you beat the absolute fuck out of a team that's in a skill tier lower. Right? But there's so many of them, it's the equivalent of like if an AHL team played an NHL team, right? Sure, I think once in a blue moon, upsets happen. But it's even more embarrassing when, you are a FBS opponent team that can't even win a game. I mean, at this point, this is more than just firing the coach. Everybody needs to go. You didn't win a game.
Oh my god.
So
Oh my god, there's no fucking way.
What?
What happened?
Oh no.
I went to the Texans jersey site just to make sure. Because I was gonna make a joke with Noah about like some random obscure jersey. And I looked up the price ranges for some of them between 20 and 40. And they're all Deshaun Watson jerseys, but that's not the funniest part.
Oh no.
They're all women's jerseys.
Oh no.
Oh. Oh god.
Oh no.
That made me unironically do that one gif of like the Michigan State basketball sideline. You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about?
Yep, I always post it.
That's
By the way,
God.
oh god, yeah. I just found a Kenny Galladay Giants jersey, so that's neat.
There are some gems in here. Some absolute complete gems.
Except for Deshaun Cosby. I think that's expensive kindling,
but,
in my opinion.
Honestly, they should just put that into like an incinerator or something.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's just ugh.
Well, at least this guy's Stephon Diggs Houston Texans jerseys are probably gonna go on sale really soon.
Ooh. Yeah.
Would you, God bless it, Noah, would you perhaps be interested in a? Would you perhaps be interested in a David Johnson Texans jersey?
Oh hell yeah! Hell yeah! Dude, the guy was a legend. Did you see those 2 fantastic seasons he had in Arizona? Legendary.
I
Wow.
bet you the coach that brought him in is still coaching there right now.
And definitely not at Boston College.
True.
Definitely not. By the way, I
Definitely
just
not.
found... I love looking up random players, and I love finding a Tim Boyle Jets jersey.
Ah, yes. Right. Oh, yeah, David Johnson was a random Houston running back for 2 years. Back in the dark days.
Oh shit! I can. Wait, why is it? Oh wait, that's why it's infant sized. I was like, why are these Josh Dobbs jerseys more expensive than Justin Jefferson jerseys?
Wait, what? Hold on. What? You're telling me that right now, Josh Dobbs jerseys We're selling
Okay.
more than Justin Jefferson.
I have terrible, not football related news.
Well, I mean, they're.
Oh, no,
Oh,
no,
hold on,
we
let me
already
guess,
know.
let me guess. Hold up. Blake Snell signed with the Dodgers.
Yes, exactly.
We
We were calling for you for a moment because
I'm
you
sorry,
didn't answer.
We
I
thought
ran
you
to
were.
We thought you
I
slit
was
your
in the
wrist.
shower real quick.
We thought you
We
had
thought-
killed yourself.
No, I had to clean the stench off of me.
That's fair.
But yeah, Josh Dobbs jerseys, 48-44. Justin Jefferson infant jerseys,